Recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Z Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Z Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZEDGamesAU.
Yo, 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 you're listening to Z Games. My name is Evie and I'm in studio with...
Maylee.
The silent Toby. No. Toby! Big voice Toby.
The silent Toby has been like a complete hypocrite in
That's
that
ominous.
statement. You're listening to Z Games, bringing you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. And tonight we're going to see if we can survive the evening.
Oh, God.
I'm getting threatening looks, so the
It's
odds...
more or less the vibe.
Tingles, even.
Well, we're going to be survival games. Come on, guys.
Tingle.
Always do
Horror.
this to me. Work with the theme.
We'll just put it all on you.
Okay,
You can deal with it. Go on.
I mean, I'm in the hot seat.
Yeah.
I'll just move it casually.
I'm secondary voice. Come on.
Tonight we are going to be talking about the week in gaming news, as usual, brought to us, or you, by Zara. After that, I will be giving a review on a game called Green Hell, which is a survival game, which you'll have to hang in there to check that out. And then later in the evening, we'll be talking about a different survival game that has taken the Steam world and the gaming world by storm. It's called VALHEIM. So we'll be talking about that a bit later.
Survive.
Can we survive the evening?
And now I get it. I'm sorry.
Oh, see? Can you survive the evening?
Sorry, a bit slow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get excited, guys. More quality banter like this.
Yeah, more quality. What have you been up to anyway, Maylee? I'm just going to deflect.
Playing video games.
What have you been playing?
Recently, I have been playing Nuts.
Nuts?
Nuts.
Bolts?
Explain.
It's a new release on Switch.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you're a guy who goes into the woods to take photos of squirrels.
I didn't know what
Yep, I'll get worried there too.
Yeah, I really probably could have worded that. Yeah. It's accurate.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, you know, look, a guy going into the forest
Oh
to
my
take
God.
photos
It's a game about nuts.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So-
I think this is a great segue for us. Let's before this gets way too nuts.
Hey.
Let's listen to the week in gaming news.
This week in gaming news, Microsoft's Edge hosted potentially illegal copies of games. The extension store on Microsoft Edge was found to be hosting copies of games such as Pac-Man, Tetris, Super Mario Bros, and even Minecraft. However, the developers listed with the titles weren't the original developers such as Microsoft and Nintendo, making it likely that these listings were not official copies of the games. Many of these listings have been removed, but many titles had been reported, also under suspicious listings. Some of these alleged developers had names such as Gamelands, K-Day, and GamePro Inc. Despite the wide array of listings and diverse developer names, these listings had very similar descriptions, which seems to imply coming from the same source. Jack Black is Claptrap in Borderlands movie. The comedian has been announced to provide voice acting for Claptrap, commonly thought of as the mascot for the Borderlands series. The live-action Borderlands movie, produced by Lionsgate, has many well-known actors such as Cate Blanchett as Lilith, Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Tannis, and Kevin Hart as Roland. Although the director hopes to be able to include fans in the cast so that they may play as hilariously killed-off extras. VALHEIM geared to become Steam's most viral hit, the Viking survival game VALHEIM has sold over 2 million copies, with over 370,000 fans playing concurrently, easily moving through the ranks to become perhaps the fastest growing hit on Steam in just 13 days. Comparable games such as Rust or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds have never hit such numbers so quickly, despite being immensely popular titles. As of right now, its player count puts VALHEIM behind only Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, both who have had millions of players since the releases. In fact, the only other comparable game that could match VALHEIM's numbers in the survival crafting genre is Terraria. Left 4 Dead character fan art after wiki vandalism. A series of fake additions to the Left 4 Dead wiki has led to fan art and even a mod that implements the fabricated content into the game. The wiki vandalism focused on a fake cut character called Purple Francis, with a hilariously bad recolor of one of the game's survivors. However, Purple Francis came with a surprisingly detailed backstory, with a tragic, untimely death. The rich Purple Francis lore tells us that his hue is due to an iron-rich diet. He owned a root beer factory and had 2 sons, one of whom was called Skibbity. Unfortunately, Purple Francis is no longer on the wiki, but he lives on through fans of the character, resulting in a Discord server dedicated to him, fan art, and even a mod that includes him in Left 4 Dead. And now for some upcoming game releases. On February 18th, King of Seas, an action RPG about epic piracy adventures, comes out for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. On Steam, there's a turn-based tactical RPG, The Protagonist EX1, and roguelike dungeon crawler, Ultimate ADOM, Caverns of Chaos. On February 23rd, you can look forward to Persona 5 Strikers for the PC, PS4, and Switch, as well as Rogue Heroes, Ruins of Tasos on the PC and Switch. That's it this week in gaming news.
Thank you very much there, Zara, for the week in gaming news. I mean, look, Left 4 Dead character fan art. After Wiki was vandalized. What?
It's great. I love headcanon. I just think it's amazing the kind of different things people make with headcanon, and it's what is it? It's like the SCP kind of world of making wonderful characters, making wonderful stories, and just inserting them into different games and universes.
Yeah, well, Maylee was just saying as the news was playing that you'd like to make a segment on how bizarre all these things coming together. Actually made me think of Ready Player One and that concept of like you just plucking all the games you can possibly think of and then CGIing them into a background shot of like something. Like that's actually what it made me think of. I mean, more or less. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just keep that cash and try it right back. Jack Black is Claptrap. Hell yeah. It looks like it's going to be a pretty intense or interesting cast, rather, when this comes out. I mean, Cate Blanchett as Lilith. Yeah. Which is cool. And Dr. Tannis is actually, like, probably my favorite character in Borderlands. Yeah, because you've played Borderlands, right, Maylee? Yeah.
That's actually why this news always scares me a little bit, because 95% of video game media will not end up well, and Borderlands is a special game to me. It is.
I mean, I actually came to the franchise of Borderlands at Borderlands 3. I didn't play Borderlands 1 or 2. I think I attempted to play 2 when it came out on console, and I didn't have a very good motion sick time. I actually felt like a little bit off playing it, and I don't think they got that movement quite right. All that, or I just hadn't got my video game legs yet. And then by the time Borderlands 3 came out, a previous host on the show was like, this is great, I love this game, did a review, and basically sold it to me, and I went, all right, cool, I'm going to give it another stab. And that's when I fell in love with so many of these interesting and wacky characters that are just so overt. Like, their characters are, like, dialed up, right? So I can totally understand why you would cast Jack Black as Claptrap in the sense of like over the top personality.
Out of all the castings that like have come out, that one seems the most like it could work really well. The most could work. Like, yeah, I think he might be able to get that energy out there.
I think of Cate Blanchett and I like think of her in movies like Carol and like really deep like romantic dramas or like intense characters. And her playing Lilith is really like, huh? Like, what? But then I also remember Cate Blanchett is like a goddess of like a performer. And there isn't a role that I've seen her play that I haven't been like, you gave it like life in a way that I did not expect. And I loved it. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I have hope that she will breathe life into Lilith really well. And Jamie Lee Curtis for Dr. Tannis. Well, I love Dr. Tannis, so good luck, Jamie Lee. I hope you can, like, you know, pull through. And then there's Kevin Hart as Roland as well. So interesting cast.
That's my least favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like Roland as a character, and the idea of Kevin Hart as that character just doesn't quite gel in my headset.
I don't dislike Kevin Hart, but he is like a comedy style actor.
Yeah,
and
he
Roland's
is.
more of a serious.
But
Also,
maybe that's the
he's
comedy.
a big guy. Roland is a big
Yeah.
buff man.
And Kevin Hart is a very small little dude.
Kevin Hart is not a big buff man. We'll say that.
But let's just say, I think they should have Jumanji'd it, where they put Kevin Hart in a different body. Like,
But maybe he's
What,
cast
just have a
The
different
Rock.
actor and then
Yeah.
credit.
Dwayne Johnson.
yeah, get joined. Like, honestly, that's my opinion, but hey.
But maybe that's the comedy, right? Maybe the comedy is that it is Kevin Hart doing that voice, playing that character.
Roland's not. Borderlands is.
All right,
is a
we'll see how this turns
Yeah,
out.
well-
We'll have to wait and see.
But we can do this.
We can argue this all day.
Yeah. This night could go on for a while. You're listening to Zed Games, and my name is Evie. I'm hanging out in studio with Maylee and Tobi. We are now about to go into a segment that is pre-recorded because I spent a lot of time playing this game. I spent a lot of time playing this survival game, and I want to do it as much justice as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and push play. So I am about to do a review of a game called Green Hell, which was developed by Creepy Jar, Forever Entertainment SA, and Incuvo SA, and it's also published by the same group. The music is by Adam Skorupa and Krzysztof Wizerinskis. The platforms are Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows PC. It's available on Steam, and I reviewed Green Hell on PC. It was released on the 29th of August 2018, however they have had new stories and other parts of the game updated since then. The genre is it's a survival adventure simulation game, predominantly revolving around survival, so if this is your kind of thing, stick around. It has been 3 years since Jake and Mia first visited the Yabawaka people. Originally, Jake and Mia visited the Amazon rainforest to study and learn about the tribe. After returning from the jungle, Jake published a book called The Spirits of Amazonia, discussing all the cultural elements of the tribe and its customs. However, the book wasn't received well by its readers, and criticized Jake for using the Yabawaka tribe for his own personal gain. This time, Jake has returned to the forest undergrowth in hopes of learning more about the jungle's flora and fauna, while Mia, his wife, ventures off to visit the Yabawaka tribe to hopefully gain their leader's trust, be initiated into the tribe, and ultimately share their secrets with the wider world.
Jake, please come in. Jake, I need you here. Jake, please answer me.
Mia? What happened? Mia, speak to me. Mia!
As you might have guessed, things don't go so well for Mia, and it's up to you, Jake, to find her and bring her to safety. Of course, this is a survival game, which means things are not going to be easy. If anything, they're going to be extremely difficult. Well, with all the dangerous wildlife, angry Yabawaka, rainforest-dwelling drug cartel, and of course Omalu Corp searching for the cure for cancer, what could go wrong? Narratively speaking, Green Hell is a game with branching narratives and multiple endings, making for an interesting and long journey that can end happily or in tragedy. So watch where you step, my friend. There are 4 difficulty levels in Green Hell. There's A Walk in the Park, Welcome to the Jungle, King of the Jungle, and of course, Green Hell being the hardest. The big thing with these difficulty settings is that you can have the option to turn tribe hostility on or off, predators on or off, as well as Jake's sanity, making for a truly terrifying experience should you be chased by a big angry cat through the jungle, at night, in the rain, whilst not being truly sure if you're hallucinating the whole thing. But don't worry, the tutorial eases you into it. First, by showing you how to check your backpack, inspect your body should you become injured, how to set up a camp, build shelters, and so on. The controls and interactions are pretty intuitive and easy to follow, making the learning curve a breeze to get through.
Similar to Ark Survival Evolved, Green Hell is spectacular in its environmental design, taking you through creeks and undergrowth with brilliant visual clarity. The Amazon truly comes alive if you can turn those graphic settings right up, and even on low resolution, the environment still looks pretty darn real. You can tell by how well the water animations have been done that that's how aesthetically pleasing the game is, making the terror that much more real. There's a bit to juggle in the first few hours of gameplay, with learning a map, navigating a notebook with all the how to do things details, as well as finding the right time to rest, eat, and maintain your sanity. You have a smartwatch gifted to you from Mia that aids you with managing your player needs. As someone who gets spooked a lot, this game is probably best played with friends. Green Hell gives you the option to play cooperatively, both with survival mode and story mode. I find myself being more confident with decisions in survival games with friends by my side, but by all means, if you're more of a lone wolf kind of player, then good luck to you. What really gets my heart racing is the music. With low tribal drums, maracas, bamboo pan flutes, and suspenseful themes, Adam and Christoph have done an insane job of elevating the experiences of Green Hell to not just increase your fear, but also showcase the native South American musical instruments, touching on classical Latin guitar, whilst still keeping true to the native sounds of the Amazonas. I am definitely impressed. Of course, most of the music is designed to keep you on your toes, so be prepared for that. To summarize my experience with Green Hell, I have to say that as much as I spent my time working up the courage to venture further into the rainforest, there is so much going for it aside from the fear aspects. There are many moments of appreciating the natural world, spinning out with ayahuasca, and learning about the wonder of the Amazon. The story is compelling and is a fantastic driving force when you are unsure about what to do. The music is heart-thumping and beautiful, and I'm looking forward to playing more of the Green Hell universe as the developers continue to expand on Jake and Mia's story. Hopefully, when you play, you come out alive.
Yeah, so that's a scary game. It's just all I come back to.
So, did you survive?
Did
you get a good ending?
I actually haven't fully finished, personally. I ended up watching a couple of playthroughs because, as I mentioned in the pre-recorded part of this evening, I think the game would be better with friends when I'm not so alone in the dark. Terrified.
So you didn't get to try it.
I mean,
Co-op mode.
I didn't end up playing cooperative, no. I was very lucky that the PR team actually gave me a free code to play for this one. So I did the best I could to I played a few hours. And there's actually there is so much to learn. It is a lot bigger game than you anticipate. It's only about like $29 or something on Steam, so it's not too bad. And it is pretty much on all platforms except for like Mac, I'm pretty sure. And they've been expanding on this story for a long period of time. Like I think they originally had the first time that Jake and Mia went out there, and then they've updated to them returning, and there are there are very many, there are a lot of alternate endings. So even if I played all the way through, I could actually go back and try again, do it a different route.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit like, it's a branching narrative survival game is sort of more how I would personally describe it. Because the decisions you make Mia can die. And be gone forever. Or you can find her, or this could happen. And at a certain point, Mia gets diagnosed with cancer. And then there's actually a lot of sort of things branching off of this. The only thing that really confused me, I suppose, in the beginning was I didn't fully read the difficulty settings, and the lowest difficulty setting is that the tribespeople are not hostile and predators are not hostile, right?
Oh.
So that kind of makes things a little bit more cruisy. You don't have to stress so much about the Yabawaka, and you don't have to stress so much about being chased by big cats. So you're kind of sweet, right? But then,
what's there to worry about at that point?
Well, there's still cartel. There's still you can slip and injure yourself, and obviously trying to find me. There's still
stuff,
and it's dark and spooky and makes noise and creepy stuff. The music is also actually terrifying. That's probably the masterpiece of generating suspense is definitely the musical parts of the game.
What about the hallucinations?
So-
I got to
yeah,
know about the
ayahuasca.
hallucinations.
Okay, so trigger warning. There is a little bit of drug talk coming up. It's related. Obviously, it's a game, so it's in jest. But there are points where ayahuasca is offered to you, or you can take from the tribes people, and basically you just you trip out. So. Not you in real life. I mean, that would be a very fast-selling game. But it's like a bowl.
Suspense.
You come up, you take a bowl, you have a sip, and then you kind of like lie back and stare up at the canopy into the sky or whatever. And then there's all these like flashy lights and changing colors and butterflies and things.
Aw.
That's more or less. It's just sort of like an in-game relaxing trip
things?
sort of
Okay.
thing.
So it's not like in some other games where it's like, this is how you grade up by
you
by
will level up by getting really high. Yeah.
It's just a
Let's
relaxing
just make it
break.
sure here.
Yeah. No, it's nothing like that. I think it's actually more actually kind of like the way they did that, because it's sort of more of a spiritual aspect coming from like that. It's from the actual Amazon and this tribal people, and it's how they use it as a spiritual process. I also think that there's elements of that being to do with like initiation and welcoming you into the tribe and things like that. So it's pretty cool. If you're interested, you can do it. I do definitely recommend having a go at it cooperatively, just because it's super easy to get lost. Unlike a lot of other survival games, this is based in the Amazon, so you can't see very far in front of you, and you can kind of get a bit disorientated. You do have like a compass and stuff and a general sense of direction, but if you're tired or running out of water or not feeding yourself properly and so on, it does sort of start to, you get confused. You can get confused. So having a couple of people can help keep you sort of sane.
Next time.
Yes. Recommend. You're listening to Zed Games, and my name is Evie. We are talking tonight about survival games. You just heard my review of Green Hell, and we are now about to open the floor into a discussion with Maylee and Tobi.
That's us.
Yeah, I'm Tobi.
Tobi's like, huh? Me? Yeah, we're going to talk about Valheim.
Hey.
Valheim.
Valheim.
I'm on the Valheim game website, and I'm just gonna like read out a little brief about what the game is, because Maylee has no idea what this game is. All she knows
all about this. I'm an expert on Valheim.
You are being sarcastic.
I am.
How does it? Is it an I or I before
know
E or
nothing
E
about
before
this.
I?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna look at.
What do you think it's about?
It's E before I.
Oh,
I read it off the screen.
Yeah.
cheater.
It's Valheim. No,
Valheim.
I think this game is about Vikings. Well, I've been told that it's about Vikings.
Okay.
And they're
She knows too much.
surviving, being
You know,
Vikings.
Threatening
More or
glances.
less, pretty much spot on.
Hell yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed.
Valheim is... Okay, so this is the description on the website. A battle-slain warrior, the Valkyries have ferried your soul to Valheim, the 10th Norse world. Besieged by creatures of chaos and ancient enemies of the gods, you are the newest custodian of the primordial purgatory. Tasked with slaying Odin's ancient rivals and bringing order to Valheim.
I'm dead?
You're dead. We're all dead.
Aw.
But then you can die again in the game.
Where do I go if I die in the game?
You come back
Oh.
with all your things taken from you because you died at some other random
Well,
location.
that's less like
'Cause that's a
dying and more
survival
like being
game.
robbed.
That's true.
Accurate.
You can explore, build, conquer, craft, survive, and cooperate. Those are the 6 keywords of Valheim.
Written on
Can't
the
think of an
side
acronym for that one.
I just like to say that, okay, so this game is an indie game and has generated 2 million sales on Steam. So it has basically taken the Steam universe by storm. And at a peak period, I have just refreshed the steamcharts.com website to check out how many concurrent players are actually playing Valheim as we speak. And as of 45 minutes ago, nearly 200,000 people were playing.
And an hour ago, we were 2.
Yeah, no, we were 2 of them. Yes, before the show we were playing. So yeah, it's a huge game. made by a small team. So it's made by Iron Gate AB. Iron Gate AB is an independent game development company based in Skövde, Sweden. Iron Gate AB was founded in April 2019 by Richard Svensson and Henrik Torkvist. The two industry vets worked together on many projects at Pieces Interactive before moving on to their own venture. So this game that is like $2 million sale, or $2 million copies sold, has essentially been overrun by the amount of work needed. I mean, the game is still technically in its early access phase.
Yep.
So it's not even officially launched. People are loving it. Twitch streamers are just digging it. It's all over Twitch. And I love it. I love it. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I get to be medieval housewife and cook, clean, and build the house. Which is my favorite part of all survivals.
Yeah, you're my essential home daddy Viking.
Yep, support.
Yeah. And I go out and collect rocks.
You guys know how to sell this game.
Yeah, well...
Well, my cousin also bought it, and I've been playing with him as well. And he's got a little bit more of an aggressive style of play.
He's like right into it.
Basically, I kind of went, oh, this is how the game goes. And then he's like, okay, how do we kill things?
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of ways you can go about Valheim. So, to give you...
How intricate is, like, the cooking system?
So far, not that intricate.
Oh.
No,
I get to put
it's
things
not
on fire.
complex.
However, I was reading some bits and pieces, and there are pies and wraps. So I'm thinking in the future, it might be more complicated.
That's
good. I wouldn't mind making a pie.
There's lots of things going for this game. I mean, it's so... To give you a bit of a visual idea of how Valheim works, or like looks, it's from a third-person perspective. It's sort of more of a pixel art style, closer towards a pixel 3D art style.
PS2.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bit rough around the edges. The UI is like super basic. It's not like super pretty or anything, but it like does the job. It's effective, and it's, I mean, relatively clean, I suppose, looking.
Other early survivals, that kind of Forest when it first came out and those kinds of things. It's still that kind of blocky crafting survival.
A bit Minecrafty, yeah.
Bit Minecrafty, yeah.
But little smaller blocks. Much smaller blocks. Yeah, it's and also the fighting is kind of a similar style to, or it's like a wannabe Assassin's Creed kind of style fighting.
Block and roll.
Mixed with the survival elements of like Rust or Ark Survival Evolved or any other sort of survival game where you've got to do a lot of harvesting of materials in order to then craft and then level up and so on.
And the more you do things, the better you get.
Yeah. You can like literally stand still and just spam spacebar and jump and then level up your jumping.
Like, how broad is the craft tree?
Pretty broad. Like,
basically, you pick up something and you can make something with it.
Well, that is good,
You're
but
an alchemist.
There's not really cooking. Like you already said that. It's lacking in that department.
I picked up a bee, and suddenly I could become an apiarist. I put down beehives and started harvesting honey, and realized that honey regens your health really well, but it doesn't last very long.
I love the fact that you're dead in an afterlife.
And yet
you've got to harvest
as a beekeeper.
Work.
Yeah. And I've got my bees, and I've got my fire, and they've got smoke physics. Almost killed myself by smoking myself out.
That's true, you did. And I sort of just left you to your own devices. I just left the house.
Had to make a chimney.
It's awful. Look, most of the game, like, there's a lot of survival stuff, but and like building and crafting. Yeah, sure, that's something that Toby and I like doing, so it's fine. But there's also the conquering and exploring. So there's like, it's procedurally generated, right? So there's like all these beautiful forests and different sort of landscapes and little groves, and then you build a raft and you can go check out other islands and sort of like conquer basically, and
or try and swim.
There's dungeons, there's summoning creatures, there's so much. This game is actually vast. So we're only just really the tip of the iceberg at this point. So we've got a while to go yet. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I think it's very, I'm really enjoying it.
It's only it's $28 on Steam, $28.95 I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's worth it. Get in.
It's worth it.
Get in now.
It's early access, so like, and because of the hype and I'm hoping that the devs love it as much as they say they do, and it appears that they do, and it will only get better, and they can get more people on to support this incredible community that's come out of nowhere.
What was it? It's 0.145 point something or other. That's the iteration they've at now. So they're not even at a 0.2. So
Yeah.
there's going to be so much, and I think it's going to be one of those games that hopefully you don't have to go over and over again every time they change some crafting process, but hopefully it's the ads and all that kind of stuff, because I'd just love to start making the village.
Yeah. It and you can do that. I mean, if you watch any of the streamers, you can sort of see that you can really progress into making these crazy halls, these Viking halls, and drinking from skulls and whatever. So, if you're into that sort of aesthetic as well, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening to Zed Games. My name's Evie, and I'm here with Maylee and Tobi.
We've survived.
You survived!
I didn't think we could do it, but we did it.
I survived the episode of Zed Games this evening. Unfortunately, if you're tuning in right now, it's the end.
Yep.
It's rough.
You had your opportunity.
Yeah. Too late. Pack your bags. Come on. Out you go.
It's been a great episode of Zed Games. We have survived. We made it. If you like any of the content that we talk about, including, we're talking about Green Hell tonight, you can head over to the Zed Games website at zgamesau.net. That will be the location where our news is posted every week. I thought you were moving something then.
Oh,
sorry, my
I was
team
going
are
to turn off the lights and just kind of say maybe we won't survive.
Maybe we won't survive. The lights go out.
Sorry.
So you can check out on the website. You can head over to the Facebook page at ZEDGamesAU, and you can check out what the news is, as well as other fantastic stuff that we share there, including written reviews. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a good night, day, wherever you are.
We'll miss you.
We'll miss you.
All of the warm affections.
All the virtual radio frequency hugs going out to you. Yeah.
Play Valheim.
Anyway, bye!
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZEDGamesAU.
See you next time.